Thank you, President Rivera. Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, alumni, honored guests, and finally the graduating class of 2026. We did it, right, Tom? I'm pretty sure that you could tell I'm not a traditional student. I think I spent most of my past 2 years telling people directions and being asked questions like I was a faculty member. I like to give them wrong answers just to make it interesting. But my road to get to this point is a strange one, and I would like to share that with you now. I grew up in a tiny little town 60 miles north of here called St. Clair, Pennsylvania. I grew up and enlisted right out of high school as a combat medic way back in 2006. I deployed, came back, went on with my life, and enjoyed my life as a combat medic to the very last day of my enlistment. It's May 9th, 2022, on the back end of the pandemic, and I was talking to a very good friend of mine on Discord. I didn't realize that that would be the last time that I would ever speak to him. The next day, I got told the news that he had passed, and I too had gotten very sick that day. I called into my commander. I took 2 days of personal leave to deal with the illness and the grieving of my friend. After 2 days, I kind of still felt pretty bad. I was a highly trained medic, evaluated my own symptoms, and thought I'd just eaten some bad food. On the morning of the third day, I pushed in on the lower right quadrant of my abdomen and released sharp quickly and had a very sharp pain in my abdomen. Upon that, I assessed I had a fever and I started vomiting. I immediately drove to Hershey Medical Center where they confirmed my suspicion that my appendix had ruptured. While recovering, I got some terrible news. During all the scans, they had found something they weren't actually looking for. The radiologist came into my room and said he had to disclose that I had bilateral avascular necrosis of my femoral heads. For those who don't speak medical talk, the long bones in my legs connected to my hips were now dead. This means my military career was over, and about a year later, after nearly 2 decades of service, I was discharged. My whole career up to this point, I was dead set on becoming a physician when I retired. It was a natural transition, and I was so committed, I never even considered anything else. Until COVID. Between the weight of the pandemic and the soul-crushing bureaucracy of modern medicine, I'd lost my taste for it. I could expand on this a little further, but it's better to just say it's more of a side quest at this point. I was ready to move on, but I didn't have a plan B. Then God decided to give me a very loud wake-up call. Sitting on my couch, retired, depressed, directionless, I had a pipe burst in my basement. I called some plumbers in to quote me, astronomical numbers, mind you, but I called my dad. He came up, fixed it in 10 minutes for $20 in supplies and a case of beer. Later that night, I realized I was always jealous of my old man, my uncles, my grandparents, my great-grandparents. Somehow they always knew how to do everything in a house. I have never used any of my education benefits, and I started looking at colleges all over the place. I came across Thaddeus in a residential remodeling program. I read the coursework and thought, heck yeah. I want to learn how to do all this stuff. I hate paying people to come to my own house to fix my own stuff. I had no intention on doing this for a living. I've learned an incredible amount of things here at Thaddeus, and I'm quite confident that I can build an entire house. Let that sink in. I started with knowing absolutely nothing about construction. My whole life had been tactical medicine. And within 2 years at this school, I have the skills and the know-how to build an entire house. This is a testament to the school. I have never seen a place more passionate about the success of its students. I've come a long way from my retired, depressed, directionless couch. I discovered I have a new passion to replace a lost one. I love building stuff. Life just feels empty without having something to be passionate about. So that is a story how this old fat guy ended up learning how to build stuff. I will leave you all with a quote from the great Mark Twain. The 2 most important days of your life are the day that you're born and the day you find out why. As you walk out these doors, just remember your first why does not have to be your last one. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you.